Well, today we're here building a sponsored home from Abel, Colorado for Janet Antiengo. She's a widow and has 4 children, 2 of which live with her, and the other 2 live with her mother. And there are 3 rooms in the house. This will be a typical home design in this particular region of Africa. And today we're mudding the home, so it's a bit of a process where the family members and the local people in the community come together and they grab a hold of the mud, the local just materials that are around the home, and they gather together and they put the mud, and it's the mud walls. Later on, she'll be responsible for finishing the home. This is the home that Janet is currently living in. She has her 2 children living with her. More than likely, this was a makeshift home that they provided for her when her original home collapsed. Most of the homes around here have a grass thatch roof, and over a period of time, the grass starts to rot and deteriorate. And if there isn't anyone locally that she can pay to repair the grass thatch roof, it will continue to deteriorate, and water will get into the home and it'll start to deteriorate the walls, and eventually the home will collapse. And so what you see in this case is a very small home. It was put together rather hastily with the poles and the sticks going across and mud, and there's a little bit of corrugated metal on top. It was kind of makeshift because they didn't have enough metal, so there's tarp on top of that as well. You can see that home is probably about a 10-foot by 10-foot home at the largest. So her and her 2 children have been living in that home. Versus a home as when we do a build-a-home project, this particular home, because it has a corrugated steel roof on it, after the process is done, will last between 20 and 30 years. So it could very well outlast the lifetime of the family's usage on this particular property. And the first phase of the construction of this home is we hire contractors, and they'll put the poles up and the reeds across the poles, and then they'll also put the tin roof on. And that's as far as their portion of the project goes, and we pay them for their services to do that. Then the community comes together. There's a day in which we mud the home, and we put the mud in between the poles and the reeds, and that becomes the first phase of the mudding of the home. Now, after we're done and this mud dries, there'll be 2 more applications of mud, both on the interior and the exterior of the home. And the final layer is a combination of cow dung and mud, which creates a sort of hardened surface after it dries, and it prevents the water, the elements, from penetrating the walls and deteriorating the walls. About the only thing that will be evasive to this home are the local termites. They can't really prevent too much of the termites coming from the ground and getting up into the poles here, but what they want to assure is that the termites don't get to the roof timbers, and so they put these metal pieces, if you would, in between, because the termites won't go around them. The termites will eat their way through the wood and up the wood, but when they get to this metal part, they'll stop. You know, these are the types of homes that we're building. Again, they're sustainable homes. The community is involved, the church group's involved. And when we're done with this process, we're going to move the family from that home and their belongings into this home, and this is where they'll live out the rest of their life. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to hand a document to someone who had the hands of making this happen. So I want to honor your family by giving this to you. To
The fact of donating and having it have a long-term effect is awesome. All of this was in the funds for the house. The feeding of everybody, the whole gathering. It was very surreal knowing that the company I work for, my family company, donated this and it brought all these wonderful people out. It's a special day.